Alrighty, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. This is Tony and Taylor from MyRepairApp, and we're going to be diving right into it today for the sake of time, try to be efficient. This is week 4. Is this week 4 already, I think, of
Yeah,
the weekly training.
yeah.
So we're going to mix things up just a little bit. We're really going to, like I said before, we're going to highlight one, maybe two features. Today, what I want to do is highlight inventory. Inventory is a big one, so I don't think we'll be able to cover all of inventory for the sake of time, but definitely want to highlight some changes that have been made, some improvements, and just address some concerns or questions that people had about how something works, because it's different, but in a very good way. So we'll cover some really cool things, some new stuff that we did with inventory. So grouping, so the groups system, that's been very efficient, but getting started is this is different. And once you get started, it's just so nice. It saves you a ton of time. So we're going to cover inventory groupings, and then we're going to dive into like a general sales training here, or it's not sales training, a general MyRepairApp review of the system here. Okay, give me one second here. You got someone actually literally asking to watch it now. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna screen share, and I want to cover. I'm gonna move this real quick. I'm gonna cover inventory. So a nice update that we did today with inventory, we added a cost average system. So meaning right now with inventory, I'll show you if you can see my screen. So with inventory right now, if I click on something, um, maybe not the best example. I don't have a ton of parts in this fake account here, but let's say we have something like this. If you had, so what would happen normally is if you have the same exact item, but you have different costs. So like everything's the same, SKUs the same, manufacturer name's the same, but if your cost is different, you'll know that it's going to be a whole separate line item. So for some people, they don't like that, even though if you had 6 of them, you'd have 3 here, maybe 2 here and 1 there, if that makes sense. It's the same. So what we've done though, we've added an average cost. So we're gonna basically, if the SKU is the same, even if it's different, if the name's the same, you can have and the costs are different, you can actually have them all in one line now. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you go to settings on the top right, click on inventory and ordering mode. So right now what everybody has and what MyRepairApp had is the detailed tracking mode. So this maintains detailed records by creating separate entries when your cost, supplier, or other details change. It'll create new items as displayed when the SKU doesn't exist and this entire list, right? So it's more in depth. It's more very in depth. It breaks it down very thoroughly, which is great. But then for some people, visually, they don't like it as much. So what we'll do is if you don't like it, if you want it to be more just easy on the eyes, consolidation mode, this will use smart cost averaging to keep accurate pricing. Excuse me a second. I'm going to add this guy. Add this gentleman to the call here because he's been asking. So it's going to use smart cost averaging. So this will only create new items when the SKU doesn't exist, serial numbers differ, and conditions differ. Other than that, it doesn't matter if the SKUs are even different, the names are different, or the name has to be the same. But basically, you'll see here, so it's going to update the existing item. You'll have a smart weighted average cost. It'll update to even the latest supplier. So even if you buy, let's say you have a SKU, whatever it is, right? You name it APL 112. If you buy that from multiple vendors and you just have the same SKU attached to it for whatever reason, even though personally I would recommend using the SKU that your vendor offers, they would all show in the same item. I'll show you that in a second here. And keeps all the other details. So we're going to hit that. So just to show you, we are in right now the consolidation mode. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to inventory. I'm going to go to accessories. And just to show you how this works, I'm going to click on a non-grouped item here. I'm going to click on these screen protectors. So right now we have 48 in stock, average cost of 184. So I'm going to take this right here, this to SKU, and I'm going to create a purchase order. So it is recommended, very much so recommended to create purchase orders when you're adding inventory. I really don't recommend just clicking add and then adding items nilly-willy. Purchase orders are good for numerous reasons. Number one, you really want to make sure you have a system and process for everything. And this is a way for you to track which employees are doing what. Ideally, I would recommend using integrated purchase orders from the vendors that we have, which are going to be these companies here. And the Mobile Enzo will be a fifth one soon. You just choose Injured Gadgets, Mobile Centrics, Wholesale Gadget Parts, Phone LCD Parts. Use the integrated ordering. If you're curious about how this works, check out our onboarding YouTube video. We do a deeper dive into it, but essentially the benefits of the integrated ordering is the purchase orders cannot be messed up. They cannot be manipulated. So if you are adding items to your inventory, just like, oh, hit add and just add an item, it's very manipulable, right? That's the whole thing. You're literally manipulating it from scratch. Whereas if you do an integrated purchase order, your employees, your managers, nobody can go in there and say, no, we didn't order 10, we ordered 8 and take 2 for themselves. That is not possible. If you order 10, the system says 10 are on the way, expect 10. So that's why we highly recommend integrated ordering. Even if you're a solo operator, just getting into that habit of it. So when you do hire people, that's one less thing to worry about, because in this business, we all know our margins are not insane, and it's not hard to go from profitable to all of a sudden wondering how you can't pay rent. And it's usually in our industry it's because of part costs, and it's parts disappearing or the parts just going down in value. So that screen protector that we just went over, right? I took the SKU, I'm going to create a purchase order. I'm just going to add the SKU here, and I'm just going to create a purchase order. So we have 10 in stock. I'm going to buy 20 more of these, and I'm going to put a cost of $50. You're going to reconcile it. So when you're doing an integrated purchase order, by the way, all you have to do is literally, you only have to adjust the received quantity. So typically with the integrated purchase orders, you buy from your vendor, you go on their website, you buy, you pay. Once the package arrives is when I would initiate the integrated purchase order. I would click on integrated purchase orders and generate the purchase order once you have the box, because then all you need to do is open it up and you have to just manually only check and edit received. The rest of the purchase order gets generated automatically. All you need to go is, yeah, we ordered 20, look in the box, yeah, we got 20. Once you're done, reconcile it. That's it. This is immutable. Your employees cannot manipulate it. So it just really, really reduces the risk of fraud and people saying, hey, we didn't get what we ordered. And so as you scale your business, whether it's you just working less hours and not being in the store as much, or passing that responsibility to somebody else, or you want to open more locations, basically no matter what the reason is or what your situation is or what your goals are, integrated purchase orders are a must-have if you want to have and maintain profitability in your business. This is just the easiest way of maintaining that. So we'll go back to inventory. We're going to go back to that screen protector SKU. So we'll see here, right? So I added 50 to that. So this is an old one. Ignore that one. Actually, I'll just delete this one. But you'll see, so we added that, right? Earlier, the cost was 185. Now it's 16. Ignore this. I have to refresh the page. But I'll just do that right now. So then essentially we had 10, I added, or 18 or whatever it was. I added a 50. So the cost went from the dollar, whatever it was, to 16 because it's now an average. Previously, if I had the other settings, so if I had the detail tracking mode, it would have created a whole separate line item. One's not wrong, one's not right. They're both correct factually information. It's just visually, what do you prefer? At the end of the day, your cost is the same. At the end of the day, if you look at activity history, you'll still be able to see what you paid, which purchase order you got it in, what your cost is. Everything is still visible. It's just, this is literally just UI. It's just how do you visually like to have your inventory on display and organized. So it's a really neat feature. It's a really good update that we put in. It's been in high demand. So really excited for you guys to put that in. And it is not retroactive as far as I understand, because we're not going to be able to retroactively do it. But moving forward, as you add items to your inventory, you can now reduce to just one line item here. And if you have any questions about this and anything else in the future, anything MyRepairApp related, again, as always, you just want to press this question mark here. This takes you straight to our team. I've said it before. I just like to remind people, we don't want to make you feel like you can't ask us questions. But it's really easy to, if you have questions, just click on this and submit a ticket, and it'll go to one of our support staff, or it'll go to an engineer, whoever it needs to go to, it'll go to the right person based on what you select. So if you go and you're like, you select it's either a bug, a suggestion, issue, or question. It's going to go to the right person within the company to ensure that you get the, first of all, the fastest response time, but also from the person who is most capable in helping you with your stuff. And whenever we respond, right down here, you'll see a red bouncing dot. So just keep an eye on for that. So that's the new inventory update. And I kind of covered purchase orders already. That's really the main thing I want to talk about as well. Again, just use integrated purchase orders. If you had questions about what I mean by adding items nilly-willy, it'd be like this. So what a lot of people tend to do, I do not recommend it, is they'll go and hit new item and they add it this way. Again, this isn't recommended. This is simply added because sometimes you just need to create the history of an item. But if you're going to add something to your inventory, definitely want to create this would be adding to your catalog. If it's from any of those vendors, right? MS, IG, PLP, WGP, Mobile, Enzo, you want to use integrated ordering. It's really going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to cut down on mistakes, cut down on fraud, theft, but also you don't have to spend all this time filling this stuff out manually. There's no point. When all you have to do is buy it, and then once the box has arrived, you would go here, click on that, and then you would log in, and it will automatically generate the purchase order inside of here. And then all you need to do in MyRepairApp is open up the purchase order and reconcile the amount you received. That's it. And it's going to be in your inventory. So that's pretty straightforward. I don't actually think there's really much more to talk about as far as inventory other than groups. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I'm actually going to show you. If you have questions, not only do we have a YouTube channel, which you might be watching us on YouTube right now, is here we also have a support section. So if I'm going to type in group, if I have questions about it or other things, I can just type it in and it'll show me. I can click on this. So we have the video on YouTube, but we also have a step-by-step guide how to import inventory groups using CSV templates. In addition to this, also, if you have, let's say you're new to MyRepairApp, if you have inventory on a CSV or some sort of document, and instead of creating purchase orders, as far as adding it into MyRepairApp, which again, we do cover in the onboarding video in more in-depth, but one of the really easy ways is by importing. So go to settings, hit import data, you can do inventory items, and you can import an entire CSV. So it doesn't matter if you have one item or 8,000 different SKUs, it'll all import just as fast. And it's very self-explanatory. You just read these instructions. It tells you what the categories are, what you need to do. And then even like down to the type, right? It's optional, but if you wanted to, you click on this and it'll tell you all of the accepted type list in our system. So if you're adding parts, it's going to be labeled as part computer, part, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is just an easy way for you to know so you can make sure that your CSV is labeled correctly. So if you're switching to MyRepairApp, we have a template. Very, very easy. You just hit download and then you upload. And that's pretty much it. And the same for inventory. It's the same for ticket history. So if you're coming from a different system, you can upload everything. So if you choose your point of sale, you download the CSV template from them, and then you just upload it. And it's as simple as that. But I want to go over the groups. So actually, I'm going to go back to.
There's one thing here, Tony. So Christian, hi Christian. He made a comment here just a couple minutes ago. He said he tried adding some tempered glass right now from PLP and didn't work, so he added it manually. Face.
I mean, my response to anything like that is whenever anyone's going to say something like it didn't work, submit a ticket and let us know what happened, because we can help guide you and determine, was this a system error, or was it just an integration error, or was it user error? I know people get offended when I say user error, but it helps us know. If people just say things like, hey, I tried and it didn't work, I don't know what that means. So if you can submit a ticket and then let us know what happened, ideally some sort of a screen record, even if it's 5-10 seconds long, just, hey, this is what I did, or a screenshot, or just a step-by-step, kind of like this, right? Like, hey, this is what I did to get to that point, right? Because we can show. Now, if it's something like, let's say with screen protectors, a very common thing is when you buy them from certain vendors, they sell them in multi-packs. They'll sell them in 5, 10, 50, or whatever, 20 quantity. And in the name of the part, or the accessory, it'll say, you know, the screen protector or whatever, and then parentheses quantity 10. That's just a system thing. At that point, you have to import it, and then you would have to multiply the quantity by 10, and then you have to divide the cost by 10. So that way you have 10 in your inventory. Because if you, let's say, for just for easy math, for 10 screen protectors, you pay $10. If you import that in as one item, parentheses 10, that's technically one item. So what you would want to do is you would multiply the quantity by 10 and then divide the price by 10. So that way it's $1 per screen protector. But yeah, if anyone has questions about that, just submit it in and we can help with that. But let me show you inventory groups because this has been a hot topic. Again, I will be making, well, this is going to be the video on how to handle inventory groups. So it's very straightforward. It's going to say here, you're going to go to the dashboard. So I'm going to do this on a different screen, but I'm just going to show you guys here. You go to here, you're going to click on settings, and then you're going to click import data. We are going to select inventory groups. And I'm just going to go through this step by step because some people are visual learners, some are audible learners. I'm just going to read it out loud and click through it on a separate screen. So I selected inventory groups. And so now, actually, I'm going to go ahead and share on this one here what that's going to look like. So inventory groups, right? So you're going to download the CSV example right here. And again, same thing with the type, right? You can see here the type list for your groups, or excuse me, the allowed item type list. So you download the CSV. So I download the CSV. And then it says for this, right, they're going to use Google Sheets for that example. I'm just going to open it up as is. So I'm going to open that up. So I just downloaded it. So I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to view. So what you'll see the sheet. And I'm actually thinking, how do I screen share this real quick? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change it real quick here. So you can see this is what it looks like. Really straightforward. It's just, this is the template that I opened up. So just to simplify it, you have the name of the group, the description of the group, the category of the group, the type, and then the SKUs. So actually, this is yeah. So you'll see like this is iPhone cases, and then the description is cases for iPhone. The category, because they're cases, I'm going to put it as an accessory. The type is accessory case. And then I'm going to take the SKU of the item. So this is just the item SKU. I don't need the name of the item. So when you're mass importing items into a group, you don't need the item's name. You just need the SKU. And so I'm going to move this over here so I can see it easier. I'm going to go back to the other sheet here, or the page. So we're going to then find the items to put in a group, right? So we're going to go to inventory. I'm going to click on parts. I'm going to view my ungroup, which is my miscellaneous items. So these are items that are not grouped. And just so everyone knows, the purpose of the groups is for you to, if you buy items from multiple vendors, this just keeps them organized. And not just that. So let's say you have, whatever, 17 different items in stock for an iPhone 11 phone. You can just have all those in a group if you want. So instead of searching through your inventory and typing in iPhone 11, you can just click on the group, right, that says iPhone 11 parts. Or if you want to do iPhone screens and Samsung screens, Samsung batteries, it's just a way for you to organize it better. If you don't want to do that, you can just click on miscellaneous and everything's going to display just like it did before. There's no difference. So it's just a much easier way to just organize things. So you're a visual learner, you can organize as you see fit. And then also you can view up to 100 items at a time. So it doesn't really make it any harder to see anything. So this is the whole purpose is for you to visually easier to navigate and organize all of your inventory. So you'll see here, we're gonna click on the parts that are not grouped. That's going to be labeled miscellaneous. And then we're just going to select an item to go to that item's details. So I'm going to select the first item that I see in mine. It's just a battery. So I'm going to click on this. So then I'm going to have to copy the SKU of that item to use in the template. So I'm going to just copy the SKU. And then in the template, you're going to enter in the SKU you want to have in this group. So I'm going to share my screen again. It's kind of, bear with me here. I'm going to switch over to the other screen and I'm going to add that SKU right here. So this is a battery. So for instance, let's say this wasn't. Let's just say hypothetically, let's say this was a Samsung screen SKU, right? So I would then just copy part phone, part, right? Copy paste. If let's say I have 50 different items that are this, right? I have 50 Samsung screens. This is straightforward. I'm going to take this really fast to add them all in, right? You just do this. Or if you're not, if you're a professional, you can do this, unlike me, and real simple to create the thing. And then you just copy paste the SKUs, right? That's all you have to do. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go back to the other page. We're going to go back to the instructions here. So we enter the SKU, and then again, it shows you, right, you can add multiple items into a group by adding more individual SKUs on separate lines. Real simple and easy. To show you, if you have items in a CSV already, this makes it even easier. If you don't have them, let's say they're in MyRepairApp, they're somewhere in your inventory. This is a really easy way to get it. So you can just, let's say, click on this. I'm going to open up the items. I'm going to click on this admin button here, and I can export everything. Excuse me. So if I export everything, I can take all the SKUs from everything that I'm trying to put in a group, and then I can just copy paste it into that CSV. Takes 2 seconds, right? Maybe 10. And now, so whether I had 1 or 50 items in a group, it took me a few seconds to add it into that group. And it says here, right, just make sure you adjust the name, description, category, type, and SKU to match what you want for that group. So again, as you saw, right, the name, description, category, type, and group, and SKU. And then you can check the type names, or I showed you that before, so you can check the type. So I'll go back to what that looks like here. Again, if in case you're not sure what the type should be, you click on this right here. And so if you're uploading accessories, right, it'll tell you how they're labeled, so that way it doesn't have mismatch. Because if you have, let's say, for instance, you're uploading screen protectors and you put accessory dash screen protectors with an S, it's not going to match because there's no S here. So it's as simple as that. Just make sure it matches, and that's it. Really, really easy. So, right, so you view the type list, then you download and you save your file, and then you're going to go back here and you are going to upload it. You upload it. Actually, I got to do this here. So let's say I just do that. So now, as you see here, it says you can map your columns. So you click the skip. I'm going to click skip. And it says use on our custom table, you can assign the proper heads to the template. So we just went over this, right? So we have the description, or actually we have the name, the description. This is the category, this is the type, and this is the SKU. Sometimes that kind of goes there, so I'm going to go back and hit the name. So I got the name, description, category, type, SKU. That matches my CSV that I just created. And I'm just going to hit import now. And it might take a few moments because it's actually literally organizing it into your system. It takes a few seconds. If the bigger the group, the longer it takes. It can take up to 30 seconds. That's it. It's in there. So this is, of course, this is not a great example because I have all sorts of different things. But let's just say, if I wanted to check, I would just go check where I did. So I have, like right here, right? We just created the Samsung screen group. We just made the iPhone screen group. So I just made multiple groups at once. And so if I go to the accessories group, we have, right, these other groups that are just here. So it's straightforward. So you put them in there. Now, if you get an error, let's say you are hit import, or not even import, let's say you select a column, you map a column and it has an error, it'll be highlighted red with an error message at the top. In this scenario, it's red because he put category, or excuse me, he put parts instead of part, right? So that S right there, it doesn't match our system. Just selected it, so it went back in, changed it apart, saved the CSV, re-uploaded it. No more error because there's no S. Import, wait for completion, and you'll get that success button, and then now you can see the item in a new group, and that's it. It's as simple as that. That's how you can import everything and create a ton of different groups at once. It takes a few minutes, and then now everything's organized the way you want it to be organized. So that was what I wanted to cover with inventory. I'm going to stop screen sharing and I'm going to let Taylor, from now, Taylor, what I would like to do is go over just like the typical overview of my repair app, and then we'll open it up to the Q&A, so that way it's just nice and organized. And you're muted currently.
Let me go here. So there was something here. Jesse did make a comment here in regards to what you were just going over. Do
Sure.
you mind? I'm just going to bring it back here a little bit.
Yeah.
So it says, I've been working on creating groups for OEM Apple parts for various models offered through the GAA program from Centrix. But I have been having difficulty with getting that set up properly. Would you have a suggestion on how I should do that? I don't have it set up in my current POS and ticketing system, so I can't import them.
I mean, it's kind of the same answer from before, right? Unfortunately, I'm missing the context as far as what's not working. So my recommendation to everybody is just submit a support ticket with what you're doing. Um, Show me what you're doing, ideally in a video, and then I can quickly guide you, right? It's just kind of hard. It's kind I can, my best way I can say this is like, it's kind of like when someone calls your shop and they're like, "Hey, I broke my phone. How much did it fix it?" It's like, I know I'm capable of fixing whatever problem you have. I just don't know what the problem is. So I would say if you can just submit, screenshot, video, or just an explanation of what you're trying to do, we can fix that. But going off of that, I don't have enough details to be able to assist. But again, if you can video, text, whatever, just something, we just need to know what you're doing, and then we can take care of it. It's no problem. Like it's probably, I mean, based on what I just went through, it could just be one of the items were mislabeled or misspelled. But yeah, not a problem at all.
Perfect. So I am just in the process here of sharing my screen. That should click over here. Can you see my screen here, Tony?
Yeah, I picked the wrong time. I muted myself right away. Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
good.
it's fine.
So yeah, I'm gonna take you through creating a ticket, managing tickets. I have talked about this like I've pretty much on every one of these I've talked about this, but we keep having such a large influx of new users coming on joining us. And I know that we have some new users on the system who want to see the flow of the ticket creation because it's so important. And yeah, so Tony, if you can just keep an eye on the comments while I'm chatting here,
Oh yeah, I
we'll
got
be
you.
good to go. Okay, cool. Because I saw Jesse had something in there. I'm gonna focus on doing this here though. Um, so here I'm gonna click on check-ins. So this is gonna be ticket creation. We're creating a ticket here. We're gonna go to check-ins. Actually, I've had quite a few people here this week who have joined on with us. Bring up the buybacks. So when you're buying devices from your community, this is the tool here. If you click trade-ins, that's where you can do this here. So before I do a quick repair, I'm just going to highlight this trade-in because it's super fast. So if I click on trade-in, if it's a new customer, just click on new customer and fill out the information there. If it's a returning customer, as always, you can search by name, phone number, or email. So I'm just going to use mine that I have here. And essentially all you have to do is just go to add device. And you're just literally just going to follow the prompts through this screen here. Sorry, my computer is taking a minute. And anyways, yeah, you just follow the prompts through here. Now I am going to go back and I'm going to go do a check-in. So now we're going to do a repair. So when I go here, if it's, again, new customer, you fill out the information there. I'm sorry, my computer is acting a little funny right now. I'm moving too fast for my computer.
No, it's not,
these
I've actually
functions.
seen, like I'm seeing a lot of reports all over the internet, like there are people outages. So I wonder if that's something. I mean, ChatGPT was down yesterday for like 6 hours, so I'm not surprised that there's sorts. If ChatGPT can go down, the rest of the internet can go down. So
But ours is working, just for the record, right now, knock on
this is
wood.
live.
My repair app is good. We are up and running. So
Shut up,
so no
Tony.
worries there. So on here, you see these functions here. This is going to be involved with our voice system that I've definitely done quite a bit of talking with the people who are currently watching. This area here, and we will talk more as the voice is. We are bringing on new people slowly and surely. New people are getting on using it. But we are going to have more information coming out about that and the insurance. More information is coming with the insurance as well. So no need to worry about that.
With the voice, by the way, I expect to have a general video tutorial by next week. I've been waiting, obviously, because it's still in beta, so we're still making some tweaks here or there. However, for the most part, I would say, I don't know, maybe 90% of it's like where I would want it to be. So I feel confident now we can make a guide because we are onboarding several people a week. Jesse's saying now that I said that it's going to go down. No, Jesse, no bad mojo. We don't.
That's why I knocked on wood.
Yeah, I have a wood
Keep your
table for
fingers
that.
crossed.
For that reason, I have a wooden table. Uh,
Yes.
but yeah, so we'll hopefully next week, maybe 2 weeks. I think next week we'll have a video. Realistically, as we make improvements, because not to sidetrack, but what's really, really cool about MyRepairApp and the phone system in general is completely from scratch. Like we've literally spent 6 months working on the phone, actually 7 months now on the phone system. This is not like an integration. This is working directly with the company that basically just sells the plans of the service, and this is all from scratch. The every piece of what you're going to see in the phone system is our own code from A to Z, and so we're making a lot of customizations, and we're going to continue to improve upon it. So I'll make a video next week. I can almost guarantee within a few months I'm gonna scrap that and make another one because we'll make more improvements. So it's not to say that it's wrong or bad. It's just it's already great, but as we onboard people, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to have really good suggestions and we'll keep making them. And that's what we want to do. So we're going to stay up to date with these tutorials as much as we can. But hopefully, I would say middle of June, expect a video on voice. And if you want to get signed up after that, talk to Taylor.
Yes, sir. The other thing too, I know has been a big conversation this week and last week, and I have had some calls about it, is Mary, our wonderful AI assistant. Do you have any updates on that, Tony? Sorry to put you on the spot here. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yes, I know everyone's asking, and I realized I made the mistake of talking about it too soon. We teased it, but I didn't, I know everyone wants it. It's being tested, like it's done. At this point, we're testing it, and we want to make sure it's, as good as we can make it. I think that realistically, I don't want to overpromise. I think realistically, end of June, beginning of July is we can expect to see it out in the wild-ish to some degree. Um, with all the other bells and whistles that we expect for it, I think, toward the end of summer, maybe, I'm not sure. It could be faster for sure, but you'll see bits and pieces of Mary within the next few weeks for sure. Insurance, probably maybe sooner, hopefully. Don't quote me on that. We're pretty much done. Again, same thing. Triple checking, right? This is a big project where we want to do it right. We want to make sure that it's real money at stake. So we want to make sure it is 110% before we launch it. But it's just going through some really, really vigorous testing, but we hope very, very soon here. Definitely.
Perfect. Thanks, Tony. So I'm going to jump back into creating a ticket here. Now that we have the customer's information, there is really only three things that we need to create this ticket. One is going to be what is the device we're fixing, what is the service we're providing, and what is the part we're attaching to that service. So I'm going to go here and I go to iPhone 11. You have an area for serial number, an area for password. You can also set it. I've turned it off, but you can set it to have a form pop up to make sure that your team is asking the appropriate questions before intaking a device into the store. On here, we have a serial number, we have password. This is just a cool feature. If you want to do pattern password, just click on the pattern password and you can fill it out right here. So now that we have that, we are going to add in what is the service. So we're going to go to iPhone. I've got to click on it. Okay, iPhone 11 screen repair. So on here, this is obviously $0. I highly suggest you put your pricing into the system, please. But I did this intentionally, and I always do this intentionally because I just like to show that you can change your pricing on the fly. For one of our new users today, this is something that I know that he really liked here. So once you click on this, you just go in and add in whatever you want to charge to it. So now that we have the pricing in here, we just click these three dots. This is the area where you can do a discount. And also on discounts, if you want to empower your employees, one of our other new users, very busy store. They've got 4 staff working in the store at all times, very productive. And he wanted to empower his employees to give discounts, but not too much discounts. And we do have that here. So if you want to limit your team and your staff on being like, okay, you're capped at 10% discount, but you're empowered to do that, you can cap them so that they can only do that discount. And that's all you have to do is just go into the mid settings, and I'll point it out to you here just after I create this ticket. So now that we have this, I digressed a little bit here. We're just going to attach the part. So you could scan. This system is obviously web-based, as most of you know. You can scan this with the barcode scanner. You can scan it with your tablet camera phone if you're using this on a tablet, or I can just go in here and and start typing in and add the part from there. And that's it. That is really it. We want to make this as quick and easy as possible for you and your team. So I am going to go here. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the other features. We have an appointment setting. If you're using those storage bins, you can label with storage bins. If you're waiting for parts, click this button. It will put it into the waiting for parts category, which you're going to see once I save this ticket here, because it pulls up on the ticket board automatically. This is a cool feature here where we have who's shipping it to you, right? So it's UPS shipping, FedEx, whoever's shipping it to you, just attach the tracking number and track it. You can track it directly from the ticket here. So you don't have to go into, the good guys at PLP or Mobile Centrics or any of the other companies that we're integrated with, or even if you're ordering from your own guys on the side, you can just attach it here and you don't have to try and piece together what part goes with what ticket. We have cash, we have card, we have other. Obviously, that Google outage right now is affecting the picture for Acima. We have an area for notes where you can do notes internally. You can display them on an invoice, and you can even attach pictures as well too, right here. Now, if you do want to print, all you have to do is you can print labels, receipts, invoices. We do have an integration with PrintNode. I did see that comment in there earlier. PrintNode was going a little bit nuts.
Hey, better than the whole website being down. I'm reading there's like hundreds of websites that are down right now. So
okay.
not bad. I'll take a little printer freak out.
Right. Yes. I'm very happy that our system is working right now compared to some others here. So on here, this is a cool feature. I had a guy a couple weeks ago and he was taking a lot of Bitcoin. And so you can take cash card, but you can account for any way that your finances are coming in. There's obviously many more ways to take funds in now than cash or card. So if I click on other, you can customize this. So like we added in check, Venmo, all of these we've added in here. But like I said, if you want to take Bitcoin, you can account for Bitcoin here. If it's Cash App, whatever, Vita Pay, whatever it may be, it's all here. And yeah, that's really it when it comes to creating a ticket. So I'm going to go to save, but before I do that, let's say I want to take a deposit. I'm going to take, I don't know, $50 cash. One of my questions from one of our new users yesterday was that, and I didn't know that other systems are doing this, is that his question was, if I want to take different payment methods, in one shot right now? Can I do that? Or do I have to save the ticket, go out and log back in to do another payment? To answer the question, we can take multiple payments at the same time. We don't have to log out of the ticket and then log back in again. So I'm just going to go here, and let's say if I put on other, let's say we have like a really old person who wants to cut a check here for $50, or a young person. Not, but yeah, as you can see here, you can see we took cash, we took checks. So you can just do this, and we haven't even created the ticket yet, and we can still take all these multiple different payment methods. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to save. Now we do have an email and SMS integration. With that integration, you can actually attach a link. So these are automated messages that you could send on updating, and I'll show you here in just a moment of what it looks like. But the other thing here is that with that email or text message on that initial one that I just clicked here, you can actually attach a link for your customer to track the status of their device. And I like to kind of compare it to almost like the Domino's pizza tracker. So you like how you can go and see the status of your pizza. Well, it's the same thing. It's going to be pretty much something very similar to what you have for your store, except it's going to be the status of the device. And then it's also going to show like how much money's owing, how much has been paid. So it's going to also show you a little bit more features. It's going to have a little bit more information than just what Domino's has. Now on here, this is the ticket board. This is customizable. You can add in columns. So you can see here, if you want to create a new column, you just click on this button here. So waiting for customer and B2B, this is custom. We added it in here ourselves. This is the waiting for parts category that I was referring to. If I left that button check mark, it would take this ticket here and plop it into here automatically. Now, this is the ticket that we have. You could see the amount owing, the device, the ticket number, the ticket created. Now, if you want to have it shorter or add in more information, all you have to do is just go into the settings here. You can go to ticket preferences and then go to ticket board, and you'll see here that you can turn items on or off, whatever you choose. I like it this way, so that's why I leave it that way.
Real quick, actually, Taylor, something that's new you can show on the ticket board.
Yes, I noticed that.
Not just the statuses that you make, but even the default statuses, you can move them all across the board. So you can rearrange how everything is. So it just makes it really easy. So if you go back to the ticket board, you can actually just drag and you can actually move all of the statuses wherever you want them to be.
Okay, so if I go here, do I just right click it? Okay.
Just go and right click
Got
and yep. So you can move any of the statuses no matter wherever you want. So you can really, you can just really make it match your shop's workflow. So maybe you have a whiteboard or whatever, how you already have it flow. You can have this digitally match your physical flow.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that this is something that we did, because I know a lot of people have asked for this. It's literally, if you want to move it, just right click. I've had this question a few times, is how do I do it? Well, that's just a right click. For my third time, I say it. So all good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of move this ticket along and take it through its journey, right? Let's say it goes into repair. Boom. Now what we can do here is that you can send out that automated text message or email letting the customer know that their device is now being repaired. Let's say the device is ready for pickup. We can put it into ready for pickup. This will automatically, you can send another text message or email letting the customer know that it's ready for pickup. Now, any of these tickets, if I click on any of these tickets at any time, it is going to pop up the ticket. So let's say the customer is ready to pay, or I need to add something to the ticket. I'm just going to click on this ticket here that we've been working on. If I needed to add anything, I would just go in here and add like I did before. But let's say they're ready to pay. We're going to take the remainder of the balance here and put that onto, let's do a third payment. Let's go Venmo. And we're going to settle that $11. So you could see here the 3 different payment methods that we took, and that you can see the balance is 0. So now that it's 0, I can actually close the ticket, because I can't close the ticket before we take the funds. So I'm going to go to close here. This is a highlight that a lot of stores really like. And part of that is that outside of being able to send the receipt, you can attach your GMB. So your Google My Business, if you want to get those reviews, this is where you can attach that link. So now when somebody's at the store, you're like, hey, I just sent you a text. Do you mind filling out a review for me? And asking them to actually do that review and give you the 5 stars. The more reviews, the better the SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. The reason why that SEO is important is because that's how you're going to show organically. The better you show organically, the more lead flow and the more phone calls you're going to get. Because when people search up, let's say, phone repair near me, you want to be in that top 3. And by doing something as easy as this is going to be so valuable to show your business on Google, because that's how you're going to drive in more traffic to your store. So on here, as you can see, I have a passion for SEO. And this is definitely going to help. So I'm going to cancel this. I've got more than enough text and emails to go through. Now, this is a feature why we have a lot of people who sign up with us just want this feature where I show them this and they're good to go. Part of the reason why is this is how you're going to stop some potential headaches coming. So what this is, and you can set this up when you take a device in and give a device back. And essentially, pardon me, essentially, you can put in your terms and services or work that you plan on doing and then work that was completed. So this is going to help you alleviate those headaches when someone tries to come in and take you for a run after you've done the repair. So yes, and every pop-up you're going to see when it comes to this is fully customizable. This is just an example in our forums. That is where you can see what other stores are doing. And you can really just copy and paste it if you want. Like if I go here, just on the forum side of things, I click on forums. You could see our forums, what we did, what we have in our system here. So you could see there's a lot that you can put in. But if I go to this template gallery, because this came up with one of the new users that I spoke to today, and he's like, well, can I just use the forms from, can I just use, like, is there something that's already done for me so I don't have to go in and try and complete it? Yes, just click on that and you can see what other people have put in. We have some people who have quite a few locations. There are names here who are very well-established business owners who you could see who's attached it. And yeah, this is just, you can copy and paste it and then just customize it to, whatever, tailor it to whatever you want. So I know we are getting close on time here. And I do want to take some questions. I want to make sure that we are answering them. I can see Tony's kind of plugging away here and chatting in the chat there. But I do want to show you one thing because I did mention it earlier when it came to the permission side of things. So on admin, this is your admin dashboard. So we've had a fair amount of people who have multiple locations sign up over the last few weeks here. This is going to be your easiest way on transferring inventory between your locations here. So yes, you can transfer your inventory here between your locations. You're going to be able to track your calls here. That's coming with their voice. Commission calculator. We went over that on our last meeting, and I'm going to click on permissions. This is where you can go in and set what you want people to do. So like, as you can see here, right? Like, okay, what do we want to, how much do we want to give? Do we have a discount code? And yeah, max discount, pay rate, it's all right here. And if you just click on this side button here, you can go in and add in extra permissions too, as you'd like. So that's kind of my stuff here. I think I've highlighted a fair amount of questions that came up throughout the week. I know Tony has. Is there anything else here, Tony, that you want to jump into? Because I know, like, I do have a hard stop here coming up shortly because I have another Zoom to hop into.
Okay. No, sorry, I just had to unmute. responding to somebody. No, I think that's good. I mean, and I would encourage anyone who's actually still watching, if they still are, reach out with questions.
Yeah, we have viewers.
Join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group, we have a Facebook page, but the group, as well as our Discord. Check out our YouTube channel if you're not watching us on YouTube. We do have all the content, as well as, like I said, we have our step-by-step guides. My Repair app is super easy to use. In fact, we have many, like if you look at our reviews, we have many people leaving reviews saying, I was up and running that day. My wife doesn't even work in the store, and within 3 hours, she was running the lobby. Like the biggest thing that I've seen and this is from my experience from being in the industry for a decade now, is and owning repair shops myself, is too many people go into not just this, anything else in life with a preconceived notion of how it should work based on what something else worked. But the reason why you're switching to my repair app is because what you currently have is frustrating and it's not working right and it's bogged down and it's expensive. It's expensive because it's bogged down, and it's bogged down because it's expensive. And it's bogged down because there's too many different things going on. And but then they also it was created by somebody who never worked at a shop before. And so you got used to using your system in such a way. Whereas if you look at my repair app at what it is, it's different, and you treat it like my repair app and you don't treat it like your previous system, you'll within the day, this is going to be like the back of your hand. It's really easy to use. So that's my encouragement to anyone, is just try it out and take it for what it is. Watch the videos, use it how it's intended to be used, and within the day you're up and running. And it's going to save you a ton of time, and it's really easy to train employees, which is important because obviously training employees, there's a big cost associated with that. And the faster training is, then the more money you save. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And Taylor, if that's it, then yeah, we'll end it there.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All
Until
right.
next week. Thank you guys.
Bye.